Are you filming right now?
I totally am filming right now.
Cherry about to be popped.
That thing is ridiculous. That thing is awesome. Do you see the fireball?
Yeah.
That is so stupid. M85 Pap coming up right now on the VSO Gun Channel. Alright guys, the M85 Pap in 5.56 millimeter. This thing's a bit of a departure from your traditional AKs in a couple different ways. Obviously, this thing is in pistol configuration here, and that is so it can have this 10-inch barrel that we see here. This thing also has a crank muzzle brake on it. I don't have any experience with the old models of PAPs, so I can't really say if this is true or not, but supposedly it is supposed to, the crank muzzle brake that is, supposed to enhance the functionality of the action. The gas system is supposed to operate much better with a crank muzzle brake on it than the traditional no muzzle brake situation that they had on them prior. What I can tell you is this thing is excellent at throwing massive fireballs. Ah! Obviously, here we have a vertical style crank gas system. It does have a non-hooded front sight post here, and it does have a traditional adjustment AK style system of front sight post here. In the initial lead up to shooting this review, I read several articles online as well as customer reviews on the original PAPs, and the general consensus is that there were issues centered around the windage adjustment on the sights. Usually they were maxed out one way or the other. My windage adjustment was maxed out all the way to one side. However, upon trying to zero the thing, it was hitting all the way to one side. So the good news is that I was able to completely zero this thing, and this is where the front post sight sits now that it is dead nut zeroed. You'll also notice here that we have a low light pin that's a little bit larger for easier pickup that flips up for use during low light conditions. It is not a true no light sight. It does not glow in the dark or anything like that, but it does flip up for use in low light. This is non-adjustable, just an FYI. Other really neat features of this gun, if I can roll to the back half here, we all know that AK top covers tend to be a little bit rickety. They tend to flex a little bit. This thing has no flex, and that is because the rear sights are mounted to the top cover. You can see that the whole sight assembly here is welded its entire length. And that is because this thing has a hinged top cover, which I think is pretty neat. We will move to the internals of the gun here in a moment, but to move on with the exterior portions of the gun, we can see here that the safety lever, safe, is up, fire, down, no big deal. That's pretty traditional as far as AKs are concerned. However, what we have here is an administrative bolt lock function here, where we're able to lock the bolt to the rear and stow the gun in this configuration. We can also insert a magazine and press down right here to strip a round off. Apparently the Serbs have no left-handed people. Other things that are pretty neat about this gun is the ability to unchamber a round with the safety in this position. Traditional AKs, you cannot do that. However, in this model, you have the ability to retract the bolt carrier group to the rear, and the round will pop out. As I mentioned previously, the sight system on the Pap is a little bit different than a traditional AK. Normally on an AK you have a ladder and leaf system. On this you simply have a flip sight. It's set for 2 and 400 meters. The 200 meter setup has 2 white dots, and when we flip to 400 you have none. It's just blacked out. Some models of Paps I have heard lock open on the last round. In this particular gun, I do not see that to be the case, except for periodically on hex mags. I can't get the gun to lock back.
I don't even like Snickers bars.